It's an odd studio as far as the outcomes go. You could very easily go in and think it's gonna be something, but it's not. It's interesting how, even though this is a sustainable design studio, but it's almost like that's not been the primary focus because it's a given. Like, we should be doing that. So I guess it's sustainable design through other means of thinking. And I mean, if you want to take inspiration for sustainable design, traditional Indigenous methods and techniques are pretty sustainable. Like, utmost respect for the land, which is good. So yeah. Rauken is a small, very small township near Menindee on the banks of Lake Alexandrina. Got to take a ferry to get there. So the first impression we got of Rauken was quite odd because there's just no one there. I think the footy was on, so almost the entire town was abandoned. But we did have a very good guide to the town in Clyde. He doesn't like to call himself an elder, just a more senior member of the community. So he showed us the historical landmarks, gave us quite a bit of context, took us to the museum. It was really interesting to hear the history of it, but also see the history of it. There's a real sense of identity, I feel, and a real sense of like determination, I think, to really strive for that self-sufficiency. So the project I was involved in was to make a community centre for the Rauken community. We approached it right from the get-go thinking we don't necessarily want to just make a community centre in the normal sense of the word, you know, a building that might have some artefacts or like a museum in it. The idea is that the building component overlooks the town itself. As you walk through the portal frames, it's a journey through country. So the middle section fans up and directs your view out towards the coastline. And as you walk further along and reach the deck, if you stand on the deck, you're looking out over the water of the lake. These are all important things. So the town, country, and the water. When we spoke to the elders in the community, they said they wanted something that tied all these together. So the phrase shifting sands came from, there was a quote in a book about how, although they may appear chaotic, the lines that appear in the sands are following a set of rules or a set of order, which we thought was kind of applicable to our exhibition, in the sense that the work we were generating was seemingly chaotic at first. Working with the Indigenous community is very different. You know, they have different ways of approaching things, different thinking styles. But spending enough time with people, you start to see how they think, and then you can start to design around their methods and their ways of thinking. So what appears chaotic at first sort of starts to take a shape that follows a way of thinking. Because yeah, in a nice profound way, it sort of encapsulated the processes of what we were thinking and how we approached the final outcome. So the point of the exhibition was really showcasing all the different ideas that came out of the studio. The way the studio itself was set up was not with any hard and fast brief. We were really encouraged to develop our own outcomes. We wanted to try and accommodate everyone's radically different ideas, but try and showcase those ideas in a way that made sense for an exhibition. My role was essentially marketing. I designed the posters, and the name was my idea as well. I made the executive decision to choose that one out of a list. that we'd sort of come up with as a group. But yeah, so that was my role in the exhibition. Also destroyed the walls with those big nails. That was my idea too. I think we were pretty successful in allowing, I mean, it's a pretty nice space, and luckily we didn't have too many people in our exhibition. So we were kind of really free to place things however we wanted in the space. I think everyone was pretty happy with the exhibition itself. Opening night was quite a success, I think. Got quite a lot of people there, and people really enjoyed it too, from what I hear, which is quite good. I'd like to thank Peter and Ron for facilitating the studio. It's been a really interesting learning experience and a really good opportunity to be involved with such an important part of Australian culture that often gets overlooked. Yeah, it's very different from any studio I've ever done before, so it's really good to have that opportunity.